Hello, how are you? My name is Anthony Gray. Welcome to Grayscale Painting, also in association with Home Artist Academy. Well, I'm going to do a painting that has eluded me. I tried a few attempts, failed miserably, yet, you know, that old saying goes, try and try again. So, we're going to try one more time. If you, well, it'll be a split screen. Not a split screen, but a transition. If you look over to the palette, titanium white, so lemon yellow, cad orange, cad red, and sunburnt umber. Okay, alrighty. We're gonna do a nice transition fade over here on the board here. Obviously going from dark to light. All right, and we're going to put some trees in there, and we're going to establish a sense of depth and the perception of depth in this tutorial. All right, now the techniques being used, you can use in any type of scene you would like. I just happen to choose the trees, okay, because it's easier really to explain what's going on with this. Also, I won't be using any glycerin for this one. This one will just be acrylic paint and water. That is all. Okay. All right. And the first thing I'm going to do, I am working with 11 by 15 inch watercolor paper. Okay. I did not treat it, so it might bow a little bit, but it's a heavier weight paper, so it might take a little bit. And I'm just going to wet the paper, just like you would do a watercolor. Okay, that is all. Just wet the paper, let it soak up. Okay. All right. And we're going to go from light to dark. I'm just going to take a little bit of the titanium white, and we're just going to put that titanium white right on there. I'm not going to go all the way with the titanium white. Just coat it a little bit. I'm going to go right into my yellow. Right here. Just coat it pretty good. You just let it naturally fade out on its own, okay? To the degree that you would want your yellow to spread is really up to you. Because we're going to go gradually darker. Okay, I'm gonna get a little bit more water. I did not clean off the brush. Now, me adding water to it with this yellow does not really mean anything at all, because the other colors will be obviously darker. Okay, we're gonna go into our orange. Okay, I'll put the orange like this way here, and I'll keep going this way with it first. Then I'm gonna lightly fade it into the yellow, like so. I'll keep repeating it. Keep repeating. Have it lightly fade into that yellow. Go a little bit harder toward this end here. Try to keep it straight. As straight as you can anyway. I'm just lightening the pressure from the yellow to the orange here. I can probably bring that orange a little further, just like that, and just bring it in. Okay. Taking a lot of the paint off the brush, and I'll just kind of lighten that up in here. We're going to go into a little bit of red now, after I wet up the one side once more. Keep it pretty wet. Okay, we're going in here, just like that. Just keep it pretty wet. Get a little bit of red. Okay, and I'll start it from right around in here. Go this way. And once again, keep playing with it. Just keep playing. You can play with the tones and the variations here. Okay. Now, as that's on the red side, I'm going back into my orange, and I'll strengthen up that orange a little bit. Go back into the red a little, just like that. Just kind of blend it nicely there. Your arm will be getting a workout, yes indeed. It's okay. You're trying to get a blend that you really like. Okay, I'm just wiping off my brush. I'm gonna get a little touch of water. I don't need it totally soaked. Just like so, very lightly. I'm just bringing it into the yellow a little bit. Now I'm gonna go the other way, because I still want a nice gentle blend. I don't really want a hard fade. So I'm gonna wet that orange up a little bit there, like that. Just soak it with some water. And going back into my yellow. So I'm going back into reverse. Just strengthening up that yellow a little bit. Put it right into that orange. See that? Just like so. Go back into a little bit more yellow. Strengthen up that yellow a little bit. I'm gonna go into a little bit more water. Go back into my older yellow here, right in here. Okay. Go back into my white. Strengthen that. Look at this. Strengthen it up a little bit. See, some of that white kind of calms that down. Now what you're seeing is a shadow from my curtains in this area here. Okay, I think that's pretty, we got it pretty good there. All right. Now you guys don't see what I see down below, but I'm just cleaning up the bottom area where the tape is here. Just wipe off some of that paint. Nothing but paint and water. Okay. So you got a pretty harmless mix going on here. Get a nice little fade here. And basically that's all I'm looking for right now. All right. Now, the next step requires you to really choose brushes that are conducive to the size of the paper that you're working with. Okay. All right. I'm going to take a very small natural hair brush. It's the number 2 bright brush here. All right. Okay. We're going to start putting in, well, tree branches. I am going to work with obviously some yellow and some water. You got to get it pretty fairly inky consistency and get it flowing around. Okay, so we're making trunks and branches with the yellow. You kind of want these to appear really looking far away, so you would use your yellow. You do a tester one here, okay, and we'll just kind of pop in a branch right up around here, just like that. Just pop that wrench right in there. You will barely see it, but compared to what else is going to be in here, all right, it's going to really add to the illusion. I get a nice odd shape here with this guy. Really get a very mystifying type of look with this guy. Get the branch like this, and this is just one tree, and we're gonna kind of branch him out like that, just like this. All right. Yes, it's difficult to see, but that's kind of what you're looking for, though. I'll even make a branch kind of disappear. I'll just put a branch in there like that. Maybe one back here, kind of going that way and going straight up. We're talking about atmosphere. Okay. Yeah, this is one of my errors that I have done when I try to do it live, is that I have to come down further. I tried to do it with the glycerin. It just wouldn't take. But with the water, okay, it will take quite well. Just like that, and we'll start putting in just little branches here and there. This will all kind of gradually make a little sense. I promise it will. And with the lighter colors, you don't have to be as detailed. We're going to start going darker in a second or two. Overall, this is not really too difficult a painting to do. Okay, we're going to start now putting in slightly darker colors. We go into our orange. We mix that orange and that yellow together. And if you have to, add a little bit of water to get that inky consistency with the orange. Now, with this color that I have, this blend of yellow and orange, I'm going darker. I'm going to go darker into that reddish orange part there. Okay. So I'm going to go right up in here. And we're just going to kind of pop a tree in there like this. Now, as you can see, you can barely see what's happening there. So I can go a little bit further into where the mix is kind of starting, like right up in here. Now, I did forget to add a color in this, and that's the umber. I will add the umber, because that was kind of my mistake there. And we're just adding branches for right now. Once I get this orange tree done, I will start adding the umber. That was a step that I forgot. It's kind of my fault. Something like that there. Bring it disappearing into that orange part there. Just like that. Okay, I'm gonna stop right now because I gotta add the umber. That I forgot to do. So what we're going to do is just dip a little bit. Now this side of the paint is dry. We're going to wet this edge here, just like that, because I forgot to add the darkest color. And we're going to go right from the edge of the tape. I'm going to put it in there, and we're going to bring that out just like we've done others. It's got to be a little darker than that. Just like that. There we go. Okay, and we'll lightly bring it out. I'm gonna add a little more paint to that. Really bring it out. Get it kind of solid there, like that. And we're gonna include, I don't need too much of the umber. And we're gonna include the color of red into that, so it can match up a little bit better to what you're looking at right now. And I'm just gonna lighten it a little bit. See, just lightens up in there. Take a little bit of red. We're gonna mix that red into that umber there. Mix that red up in there like that. I'm going back into my umber, and once again, just darken it up a little bit. It's mixing in with that red, just like so. If you rather have a softer brush to do what I'm doing, that's okay. Get a little bit of red. Okay, and pop that red in there, put that red, mix it right in where that brown is in there, just like that. We're gonna go into a little bit of orange. We're gonna just even out everything. Little, and just like so. Even it right out there. There. That kind of brings that out a little bit more. Okay. All right. That should be fine enough. Okay. Now we will go into we're going to mix again, get a little bit of orange, a little bit of red into that orange. Still using the same size brush. Get a little bit of water, put it in there, loosen it up a little bit. I use heavy body paint. And once again, we'll start to kind of add those trees in there. Look at this. Is it starting to make sense to you now? Okay, I'm gonna get this tree a little thicker. Make it the appearance of it getting a little closer to us here. Just need a larger tree. This is a yellow, or I'm gonna red it in the orange mixer. And get some of those branches coming out there like this. See this? Have it come down a little bit. Okay, so you still see some of the put a couple thin ones in here going all around here, coming up this way, coming off the page. Just get those branches going there. Okay. Once again, still using the red and the orange. Just like so. We'll have a branch kind of sneaking out there like this. Okay. Much like that. We'll have one kind of wrangling out there like so. We're going to add a little bit of this brown into our red and orange. Get some of that in-between color in there. As you can see, this type of painting can go rather quickly. Really up to you how much detail you would want in it. I'm still using the same size brush. Okay. And we'll start to kind of add some of that darker color in there. Just like that. And we're going to get some water, put it in there, lighten it up a little bit. Or loosen up the water. We'll start popping in some of these guys here. Just like that. This is the umber and the red. And what you're looking for is that gentle gradation of color in each section. They kind of melt into each other, as you can see. And we'll kind of put another one up in here like this. All right. All about atmosphere, doing different things, just like so. Having a little fun with it. We're gonna go even darker with it and larger. So don't be concerned about the trees not necessarily, or they're butting into each other, and that's fine. Okay. Now I'm using nothing but the umber and the red. I will be using a slightly larger brush in a few seconds. Different sized trees will obviously give you different closeness and depth. Okay. So some of these guys will be, obviously, when you make them larger, they'll appear to be a little closer together. Okay. Oh, bring him down here a little bit. Oh, let's put a nice little branch coming here, coming down like this, stretching right across some of that light area there, just like that. Okay. I feel there should be another one. We'll put one right up in here, one further away. Come here and kind of branch him out like this. Come up there. Okay. We'll have one come out here like this. All right. Okay. Now we're going to get a thicker brush. I think I'll go with a nice, we'll go with this 1/2 inch here. Okay, now we're going into more of the umber and a little more red, but more umber than red. These guys pretty dark here. Now with this fella, he's going to be a wider tree, larger tree. He'll stand out pretty strong. Okay, so we'll put this fella right around here. Now, make it look like a tree. He's a little, you make them crooked. He's a big one. He's right in front here, just like that. And he's gonna have a nice thick branch come out here. You see this? You see what I'm doing here? Okay. And we're gonna have one jet out that way. He's a bigger tree. And we'll add a little detail to this fella too. And we're gonna kind of bring that branch out like this. And he's gonna curve up here, just like that. We'll get a smaller liner brush and start getting really detailed parts of the tree going here. These branches are a little thicker. As you can see, it's darker. Okay. Getting a little bit more water, getting a little red, adding it into the umber. The gradation of colors that you see are also close in the family, the color family tree there. Okay. In case you're wondering. A little thicker paint, make it a little more opaque. Okay, I'm gonna probably pop another one in there, more than likely. I'll put a slightly slimmer guy right back here and have him curve this way. And this one goes up this way, like that. And we'll kind of, just like that, different. It's like that. Just like that. He branches off. He's a little thicker, just like that. Okay. I think you guys can kind of see where we're going with this. And some of those dark branches are going into the lighter areas. It all adds into the depth and perception of what you want in your tree. Okay. This is a really fun painting to do. Definitely have a good time with this, you know. Do all sorts of little designs and really have a lot of fun with it. Okay. Actually, I don't necessarily have to use the liner brush for what I want to do with this. I'll put this one up here like that. Actually, I will. I'll show you what I'm going to do. You can spend as much time as you would like on plants, scenery like this. I'm just getting a script liner, watered it down with the inky consistency there with the paint. Okay, and you can add these little bits of really nice little branches coming out, snaking around here like that. And we can snake some of these around, come on down like this. Like that. All sorts of things you can add here. Okay. And a little thicker one here coming down like that. You can get it as creepy as you would like. I'll press down a little bit, get a thicker branch up there. Okay. Just twirling the brush around. Like I say, just having a little fun with these fellas. There we go. Okay. And I'm looking at things here. I can go back into my yellow red mix, add some branches into some of that lighter color. Just getting a little water, loosen up the paint a little bit. This is the yellow orange mix here, and add a few things in here. Up to you how you want to do it. Okay, add all sorts of goodies in there. Okay, like I say, we're going to add a few details, a few bits of details on the trees that are closest to us. But I'm going to go into a little bit of my umber here. I'm going to use more paint than anything else. No water. Just to thicken up a few branches that are kind of not really showing up. Like that. Get it a little darker there. It just needs more paint than water. Got a little saturated up in here. Sometimes you just have to let it dry a little bit. There, I'm just darkening the tree a little bit here. This one here. So they're not as opaque. All right. Okay. All right. Let's get a little bit of that lighter color, a little bit of orange, a little bit of yellow orange mix here. A slight touch of white. And we'll add some nice little sneaky little highlights in there for this guy. I'll add a little more white to make it a little more opaque so you can actually see it. I'm getting a little bit of yellow in there, a little touch of red, a little bit of orange. The highlights don't necessarily have to be white. Remember, the brighter the highlight, the less of it you need. And there we go. Just a little bit of texture down there. One, it lets you know where the light source is. Okay. And we know that the light source is coming from the right. A little bit of that up in here. Just a little bit of texture. Just like that. Even some back here in this guy, because they're closer to us. If you do some of these and it appears to be a little bit strong, have no fear. Actually, grasses in front of that, branches in front of the other one. So we'll put it right here like that. Like you see, you don't really need too much in here for your highlight. Have it strong enough to know that, one, it brings this stuff a little closer to you. Okay. And you basically need, just a couple in this area to kind of showcase that it's out there in front of us. All right. Okay. Now down in here, add pretty much whatever you would like. We're going to put some long grass in there. Okay. Now, before I add that long grass, we're going to give the impression of grasses in here, but it's going to be with that lighter color. Okay. I'll take the same brush, going into our yellow, and I'm going to add a little white to that yellow. Get a little bit of water just to loosen up the paint. Now watch how I do this. Get a little more white though. We're going to make it extremely light. Get a little bit of water. I don't have to add water to the paper for this. Just watered down paint. And we're going to come up here and we're just going to add some nice little lines in here, just like this. Okay. Put it right in there like that. Now, I'm going to go a little bit darker, quote unquote, with just a little more yellow. See that natural yellow color? It's slightly mixed in with that white, but you can make it gradual in there. Okay. Now, as I'm doing this, I'll just keep going. As I'm doing this, okay, I'm gonna get a little bit of water, add some water into it just to loosen it up a little bit. Down in here, all up in here, okay. Make some a little higher, some a little bit lower, it doesn't matter. All right, I'm gonna start sneaking in a little bit of orange in spots in here. See this? Sneak in some of that orange a little bit. Okay, so I'm sneaking in a little bit of yellow, a little bit of orange in there. See this? Look, be very coy about it there. Still give the impression of little strokes of color. Going into a little more orange than yellow. Might be sneaking in a little bit of red in there. Bring some of that out here a little bit, not much. Just a little bit, kind of. Now I'm going into my red. A little bit of red, and we're going to throw some of that red in there. And we're going to, still in the line movements. I know I got a little bit of light stuff in there. Let's get rid of that. Keep going with your red. It's all right. Going a little bit into my umber. Little umber, little red. This is more paint than anything else. Because you're getting gradually darker. Yeah, I'm going to need a little bit more water to loosen that paint up. Paint's got to flow. Once again, I'm working with heavy body paint, so. And once again, with the, see the stripes look happening? You bring some of that look into the lighter area a little bit. You're gradually putting more and more in there. Okay. And then we're going to go with our final solid umber color, which is the darkest color that we have on this palette anyway. All right, and once again, now what I'm going to do with this umber, I need more of it. What I'm going to do with this umber is going to come forward, smaller, forward through all of it. You'll see I'm pulling my brush evenly on both sides, still maintaining a pretty sharp point. We're gonna come up here and we're just gonna get those long grass type stripy looks down there, especially here in the front. If you got to, okay, I'm gonna get a little bit of water, loosen up. This is the darkest color we have. You can go up from your tape if you're using tape. Go up from your tape and just go upward. And if you can, use the corner of the brush. It gives you a thinner line. Okay, if you can. Now you can use a script liner brush if you would like, and I'll show you in a second or two. Get some more of that thick stuff going there. But can you see the depth now? You don't make them as high. As you can see, show off some of that other color. Okay. Now, if these brush strokes are a little too strong for you, I'm gonna show you what to do right now. But I think you can kind of get the idea where we're heading here with this. Let's go back into our script liner. If I can find it, I know I placed it. Ah, there we are. Okay, we're gonna get some water. Once again, the Nothing But Umber. All right, darkest color. You can do this color with blues, greens, yellows, reds. Okay, really up to you. All right, let's bring this down here. Let's bring this a little bit closer here. Okay, go right from here where you already established some of your leaf work here, and we're just going to bring some of that. Look at this, see this? Now it's a very careful mix of your water and paint. It's got to be dark enough to really show that contrast. Okay, and obviously these are a little thinner. I can kind of go from the bottom. Because it's a thinner brush, obviously it's going to be a little more light showing through it. So you're concentrating really on that bottom down there. Okay, and you can make them a little taller, a little stronger. But you see that the strokes are a lot thinner, so it's going to give the impression of a lot more detail, make some a little taller like this, and you keep going forward with it. And people will really like it because of all that detail. Down here, keep it fairly dark down there. This is by the tape area, the tape line. Okay, let's move this over a little bit. But you see how everything comes out and everything looks much darker? Okay, go in different directions with your wild grass. It is wild grass, it's not neatly cropped grass. And keep working at it. Get some of these guys are a little taller than others. All right, and just keep going with it. Have fun. Like I say, if you have yours taped, go from the very bottom below the tape there. Okay, the more you put in one spot, the thicker and more packed it looks and it becomes. Okay, I can start over here and bring one in, kind of frame things in a little bit like that. Okay, I'm just getting a little more water going into Nothing But my umber. Okay, you need this dark to show off the light, and that's in any painting. Don't necessarily have to be trees and woods. It can be a lady on the beach. Okay, it can be a couple of pets or whatever. But down here on the bottom, where all the foliage is growing, it needs to be concentrated. It needs to be a little darker there. So you just keep messing around in that dark area down there. Right down in here. Keep it a little bit more solid. Remember, the less water you have in the paint, the darker it will become. It's almost like a watercolor. Okay. But still maintaining that upward direction in there. But you see the darkness there. It's just sprouting upward. All in here. Get a little darker. But once you get that solid darkness, maintain that there's still bushes, grasses in there. Okay. Let's take some of these thin, dark grasses, and we're going to start putting a few of them all up in here like this. Now, it has to be fairly dark now because you're going into a darker value. All right. See this? See? And this is definitely showing off the foreground. All right, that one's a little too thick. We can wipe that one away. I don't like that one. Okay. So if you got to, go a little slower with your strokes. Get a finer line there. And if you want to be really cute, I'm going to show you something else. This is for all you cute folk though. Now, obviously we're going a little darker in there, right? We got that yellow. Watch this. We got some tall grasses. Those of you who are in the know already know what's going to happen. You guys already know. You have a little fun. Now, your paint got to be a little thicker. This is where you get to play a little bit. Okay? Because if you water it down too much, when it dries, it just becomes a soft glaze and it might not stick out as much. But look, as you're in here, pop a couple of those light ones in there like that. See this? Go up in here. It's got some, you know, just a. See this? That helps sell all of that. Let's move it over a little bit. You see where it is there. Okay. So, you know, you've got some of these guys sneaking in here. See? Put a couple of them in front of them. Look at that. I'll move it over a little bit. You guys can see it. See that? Okay, some of that light is escaping in there. See this? You don't have to have too many of them. Just a few will do. Okay. You pop a lonely one in there like that. Alright. Just a few will help you out. And you know, you can be a little adventurous and you can put a couple of strong highlights on that tree a little bit. Using the same color. Okay. You can kind of pop in a few little highlights in here. Just kind of put them in there. Of course, you guys didn't see any of that. Let me go up here. Well, push it upward. Up in there. You can take some of this bright yellow. All right, and you play around with some thin lines somewhere in there like that. Don't necessarily have to be. I mean, you can just create some just in there. You know, got some of that light just popping off and hitting off in certain spots. Don't have to be everywhere. Even on some of these guys that are a little bit of red brown in there, you know, it teases just a little bit of that sunlight going in there, just a little bit. All right. So let's pull back here, and we'll look at the total painting so far. And this is what you have. Okay. You could have put a hut in here. Anything you really wanted. Okay. It could have been even brighter if you would like. You know, really up to you. But this is somewhat what I wanted to show you guys. Okay, and this is just with the colors just transitioning from that lighter area to the dark. Okay. Yeah, I could have probably faded this area a little bit better. Or if I didn't like it as much, I can throw another tree in that transition area if I so desired to. Another dark tree would look pretty cool up around in this area to break up some of that little transition. I wouldn't need really too much of it. I can give you a quick example because I do have plenty of dark, and why not? Okay, so let's do that and get a little bit of water. I'm just using right now just total umber. So let's say if you did a transition like I did and it did not smooth out as well. Okay, so around that area you would put your thickest tree in there. So probably, we'll put a big one right here, right in here like this. I'm just drawing with the one side like that. Okay, he'll be a meaty sized fellow. He'll probably be the most detailed tree, and we'll put him like this, right about that thick. Come out in here just like that, go straight up with him. Okay, pure dark, just the regular burnt umber. Okay, and we can have him kind of come out this way, up like that, and there he's got quite a limb there. Okay, we'll kind of give him a thin one right up around here, and something like that. He's got thicker limbs, he's much closer to us. Okay, and he's all paint like that. All right, now I'm gonna block him in. All paint, no water. All paint. We need him thick, we need him very dark. Okay, just like so. You can always go over it again. This is nothing but paint. Let it dry, go over it again, and it becomes more solid. Okay, just give it time to let it dry. So don't worry about it being streaky or anything like that. You will be fine. You're initially just putting the initial coat down. Okay, just like so. All right. The branches are a little thicker. It's this one's the closest tree to us. You understand? Right in here. Put it right in there. This is all paint, so I can, get away with this. It's all paint, opaque. Put it right in there. Let it dry. It only takes a few minutes. This is acrylic paint. It only takes a few minutes to dry. Okay. And you just let it dry a little bit. Obviously, you're gonna need a don't make the branches necessarily even. Okay. I'm just getting some more of the paint for the thicker branch. And I'm just gonna try to place it. We'll place it a little lower. Somewhere around there. And it gets a little thicker right up in here. Okay. And give your paint a chance to dry. All right, don't keep working it. All right, give it a chance to dry. All right, like I say, this fella will become more detailed, but you have to give it a chance to fully dry, so you can go back over it with the same color. Then you add your details. And on this guy, the details are going to be crazy. He's closest to us. He is. I'm getting some more umber here. Now I'm obviously on time constraint, so usually I would wait a little longer, but I'm on time constraint, so I want to keep you here forever watching paint dry, literally. And I'm just lightly with this thicker paint just going over what I previously done, and I'm not going back over it twice, because once you go over it again, you start taking paint off. Okay, so try to get it in one fell swoop if you can. If you can. All right. And here we go on the other side, just like that. Just bring it. Now you already blocked in everything, so you're just pretty much going over what you've already done. Now that guy just sticks out there. He's much darker. He doesn't have red mixed in. Okay, none at all. And we're gonna add smaller branches, and have a good time with this fella. We will keep him in the front. We're not going to put any anything in front of that, because it just set him back. Okay. All right. We're going to take this same dark color, go to our script liner brush, and we'll start adding smaller branch details. Going into my script liner, I'm just getting some water, going in a circular motion. You guys might catch this. All right. So with this fella, thicker branches or whatnot. If I wanted to add branches on this guy, you just have to lay on the brush like that, twirl it around a little bit, get some more of that paint. Because even though these are smaller branches, it's a script liner you're dealing with, so you're gonna have to make it a little bit thicker line for a script liner anyway, which is still much smaller than the other branches, but it just gives you, see, then you can kind of go with your little details like this up there. Put one here. That's too light. We're gonna go over that again using more paint than water, kind of there like that, and I'll twirl the branch around a little bit. So basically what I'm doing is I'm taking the brush on this side and I'm twirling, which kind of gives you that weird unevenness when you twirl the brush. Gives you kind of some more natural looking branches. Okay, so we have attractive and creepy at the same time. We'll do one coming up here. Lay on that paint, and you twirl the brush. It gives you that weird gnarly looking thing happening there, like that. Okay, I'm just getting more paint on the brush to get it a little more solid, just like that. And then you just let it naturally dry. All right. All of this takes, all of this depends on the dryness of your room, or the heat in your room. All right. Thicker branch, we'll spread him out a little bit more, just like that. And we're gonna start detailing. Now you see, got little bits of the sunlight going through my windows here, because I'm doing this pretty early in the morning at the time of this taping. But I'm really hoping that this helps you out in getting nice creepy looking branches. Like I say, you can do this with, I'm just using trees as an example. The technique is still the same when it comes to lighting and shade. I'm gonna press up on this here. I'm gonna bring one downward, come down like that. All right, and we'll highlight these. You'll still see them. We'll highlight these, little bits of these. Okay. So hopefully this really helps you out in making a scene like this. You still see the other trees in yellow. You still see some of the other branches and some of the other trees back there. Once I take a picture of it, you'll see. Okay. You can do the same thing with leaves. Okay. Same type of design with the leaves and such. You don't necessarily have to use yellow and oranges and reds and browns. You can use greens and blues together. Okay, anything around in the color wheel area. I can do the same painting with various different colors, which will give you a various different mood and setting. That's what color does for you. Okay. Let me do this real quick too. I'll throw my name in here somewhere. I think I'll throw it here in the weeds. Maybe some people will spot it, maybe some people will not. But it's in there. There we go. That's all I need to do. I'll just put it right there in the corner. Okay. Let's do a little bit of texturing on that tree and we'll call it a day. Right? You can approach the texturing of the tree in any form or any manner you would like. Okay, I'm putting a few of my brushes away here because I don't have to use too many. I'll use this guy here. All right, here we go. We'll texture the tree. Let's use a little bit of orange. A little bit of yellow in that orange. So we've got some yellow and some orange. The slightest touch of titanium white. I want some more orange in that. And maybe a little bit of that brown. A little bit more of the ochre there. Kind of gray it up a little bit. Okay, here we go. Relatively dry brush. Okay. And we're just gonna tap. Get some texture on that guy. Just like this. We're gonna just tap in like this. Almost like a partial drag and tap right up in there like that for this fellow. We're gonna come down here and we do the same thing. It's almost like, you know, you're tapping the texture and you're dragging a little bit. You know, because, you know, these trees got certain little lines and all depending on what kind of tree you're looking for to do. Okay. And like that. Getting some more of that color. More of a dry brush type of texture we got going on. And all I'm doing really is just tapping the brush. We're overlapping some of these. Okay. Well, let's go here. Now, as I'm doing it, I'm looking at it. Okay. Don't over highlight everything on it. Let's go here, back here. Just like that. A couple of taps, especially on the edge. Then you go in a little bit. Okay, I don't have to do every one of them. I'll leave that alone. I know what I'll do with that. Okay, a little bit here. The sun hits it in different areas on this guy. Just like that. I'm looking. Okay, that should be enough of that. Let's get the strip liner and we're gonna call this a day. Okay, we're gonna get a little bit more white into the mix. Some of this mix might be dry, but I'm adding a little white. It contaminates the whites is contaminated with the other color, yellow, orange. Yeah, we can go make sure everything's dry. We can go in here and we'll start highlighting that little branch coming off that tree there, just like this. Just like so. Look at that. All about mood, guys. All about mood. Let's bring that branch right in there in front of that tree. Let's do one like here too. Just like that. And you're just guiding. You're guiding your eye. Seeing all sorts of cute little details. Right here, this large branch right here. Just like that. Different line weights. Different paint weights of the line there. Just like that. All right, creepy, but it's all good. Right here, you got one branch right here. He's in front of everybody, and he's got that little knot right there, just like that. See that? Okay. There you go. And as you watch, all what was bright is now settled, so it's not as bright as you think. And the same thing's going to happen with these guys. It's going to settle in the color once the paint totally dries, and you're all good after that. But we have everything, all the elements in here to establish depth and perception, even in the different from the bright tones to what we have as the darkest, as far as shading goes, tonal values go. And our darkest one is the tree here in the center. And the only reason why I put the tree dead in the middle, okay, is because I didn't like the transition. But you can always work on that, and you don't have to necessarily add that. Okay, and you can have the brightness, it be as bright or as subdued as you would like. It can be super, super bright and super dark, and you just build your transitions on from there. You can do this with a black and white painting and have the same effect. Okay, but this is basically what I wanted to show originally, and I didn't successfully do it, but hopefully I've kind of shown you what I originally intended to show as far as tonal values and all that good stuff. Okay, well, let's see what she looked like framed up here. Obviously, I used to, this one's for 11 by 14, so it's a little wide. I gotta bring the camera back just a tad. There we go. So she would look like this, pretty much somewhat. This is what it would look like in a brown frame. Okay. Let's whack another frame on it, and we'll do a black one here. This is the actual size this paper fits, 11 by 15, and this is what it looks like with a black frame, which makes it even look more mysterious. Okay. You can see it accentuates the light and the dark. Okay, there you go, guys. I hope that this helped you out, really showed you what you can do with so few colors. Okay, to try to lay a mood. Okay, don't necessarily have to be large deciduous trees like this. It can be pine trees. Same concept, same technique. Okay, it can be a row of houses. It does not matter the subject. It's the technique of the transition and how to get those gradual tones mixed in to achieve a look similar to this. Not very difficult to do. Okay, really isn't. So I would love to see your variations and your interpretations on this project. Okay, and remember, everything will tie together, whether you put grass or maybe water. Up to you. Really. It doesn't matter what scene you're doing. You follow me? It's just the technique of the blending and shading it and adding of the colors to represent. Okay. Like I said, I just used totally water with this, so most of it should be totally dry. No glycerin, just water and paint. Okay, you can do this also. Name's Anthony Gray of Grayscale Painting in association with Home Artist Academy. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I shall see you when I see you.